What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Your Story. We're here today at Metropolitan Detail, well, actually at Drivers Club right next door, with Benjamin and John from Metropolitan Detail. So welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys being here. As we always started off, the drink of choice, please tell us why you guys picked Renier.
Our friends at Drivers Club are sponsored by Renier.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. So as you guys can see behind us, there's some pretty incredible cars right now. I mean, you name it. It's got a lot of bucket list cars in here too, and a lot of things that are new. A lot that you guys have obviously worked on as well. Can you guys speak of a couple that, kind of stand out?
We do a lot of Porsches, so we've done the Speedsters, GT2 RSs, 3 RSs, that kind of stuff.
Awesome. So in this industry, I mean, you guys are definitely a group that a lot of people look up to, including myself. I mean, even when I started detailing, and thank you guys. It's always nice to have something for a goal to look forward to, and the detailing industry was always difficult because it was so vast on kind of the setups that people had, or even just, the people out on their team or what they offered. Cleanliness is obviously another thing of shops, and it's one thing seeing it online, but when I walked into your facility today, I was like, this is exactly everything you want to see online. It wasn't like it dropped 50 pounds off that somebody edited out. It was perfect. So can you guys speak a little bit of exactly, because you have a pretty cool story, exactly how you got into business together, which started back in 3rd grade, was it?
Well, we met in 3rd grade.
Okay.
So in 3rd grade, we weren't exactly able to push a mower, but probably by about 5th or 6th grade, we were pushing a lawnmower up and down in our neighborhood and cutting people's grass. So that was pretty interesting.
Self-propelled mower. Had a huge hill to get up to both our houses. We lived a cul-de-sac apart. Load that thing up with the blower, the rake, the extra fuel, pull that thing, and John had the nice mower, right? We could engage the self-propelled wheels without the blade spinning. So we just go up this hill effortless,
Did you buy your first mower? Or was it? Yeah. Yep. So what, did you walk into your parents one day and was like, I need a lawnmower? Or were you
Essentially.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I actually mowed someone's yard with my friend's mower with him. That kind of helped him out. I'm like, this is lucrative, And, we would make $30, $40 in a day, but we're 12 years old. Wow. So a 12-year-old kid, what are they doing walking around with $40 in, the late 80s, right? Early 90s.
And it really caught on when we're mowing the lawn, and lady asked if we could wash her car. Light clicks. Of course we can wash your car.
That's great.
So that was the side. One guy'd wash the car, and then one guy'd mow the lawns. Started working up.
Wow. How do you get the clientele base at that age?
Knock on the door.
Yep.
Literally knock on the door. Do you need your lawn mowed? Yeah, actually my husband hasn't done it yet. That was a pretty common one.
Wow, door knocking.
And you know what? We made the perfect straight cutting lines too. 11, 12 years old, we're like, we were really proud of
trimming
and doing the perfectly straight lines. And people saw these straight lines we were cutting in their grass and like, oh yeah, who does your yard?
Yeah.
So like, some 11-year-old kid.
They pushed their mower straight up here. Yeah. That was good stuff.
So you guys are passionate at a young age for your craftsmanship, to say the least.
Definitely.
Which shows to date. Yeah. So how did you guys transition from mowing lawns and washing cars to building this incredible facility that you're in now?
It's a big span between those two things happening.
Yeah, we didn't go straight from the lawnmower into this place.
That'd be badass if you did. Yeah. I want that book.
Yeah, right.
So give us a couple stories, or at least your, from A to B, or I guess it would be A to Z, and kind of the steps in between, and how you grew it up.
There was quite a long pause in between, but basically fast forward to the end of high school, we were going to community college, and I think we had an opportunity to get a detail shop in Bellevue, and we were gonna open a detail shop a couple years out of high school, and ended up, we were too slow, didn't move, or whatever it was, but that place got rented. So then I think I ended up going to school, and you worked in the service industry a few years.
Yep, I've always worked in automotive. So from being a lot attendant to being a detailer, and then all the way up to being a service advisor. And so I just have a passion for cars. My first car was a 65 Mustang. And so I'm a car person.
I had a 67 Mustang as the first car. No coincidence there. We were
I have a
friends.
2007 Mustang, so although not as cool as yours.
Yeah, that's cool, though.
Or the mac and cheese car, whatever one calls it.
Yeah, right.
But that's awesome. So you guys started at, your love for cars started basically at a young age.
Yeah,
Right.
it definitely did.
Yeah.
I had an 85 Carrera on my wall.
Wow.
Red, I remember that.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite car that you've had?
That I've had?
Yeah.
No. I think I have my current favorite car. Be a GT3.
Yeah.
996 GT3. Probably be my current favorite car.
What about you?
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's a few that have gotten away.
One you miss the most?
Gosh, it's a tough one. But there's an 81 911 SC that I bought about 19 years ago. I owned it for about 3 years, and I sold it. It went through about 3 different owners, and then I bought the car back. So the same car.
That's cool.
And it's pretty awesome. And it's very distinguishable. So there's no way to, that I wouldn't distinguish this car right away. So
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. And you have it back.
But
I have it back.
the story of how you got it back, like the guy's at lunch. I've only heard the story, but I can picture it because I've known him for so long. So he's at lunch with his wife sitting outside somewhere. It was your wife, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And when you're into Porsches, you can kind of hear them, right? There's like a sound, right? And then when you build a car, your car has a distinct sound. Usually has a tone. You built your exhaust, and this one happened to be center exit, right? And he hears a car and looks at it. He's like, "Holy shit, that's my car!" And he just leaves his wife and starts running down the street.
At a restaurant.
No,
yeah, I just
were you
put my
outside?
knife and fork. Yeah, I put my knife and fork down, got up, and started running. And my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I run out of the restaurant, and she probably thinks something crazy happened, but I'm just chasing down this Porsche in the middle of downtown
I found
Kirkland.
my car.
Yeah.
What'd you do? You
No,
started
I didn't
jumping
catch
and
him.
screaming?
No, I didn't catch him.
Oh, you didn't?
No. So I saw it drive by, and then I ran and ran and ran. I couldn't catch a car, and then I'm like, it's around here. The car lives where I sold it. It didn't move to California or Texas or like a lot of cars move around, so it stayed local. So that was really cool.
And then how do you track it down later on?
So actually, a client of mine bought it, and a friend of mine, he bought it. He found it, and he brought it to me, and he showed it to me. He's like, "Hey, check out this car I just bought." I'm like, "Wow, that's my old car. Please sell it to me back. I've been looking for this car."
That's right.
And he was gonna send it to RWB.
Oh, he's doing the full build.
Do a full build.
Oh,
And
nice.
cut it all up and everything. And I said, "You know what? This is kind of like a really special car. You should really do a 964 anyway."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
that's true.
I convinced him to do that. He did an RWD 964. Yep.
Did he complete it or
He
recently?
completed it.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's great. That's
it's
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah.
Which
RWB.
color was the completed one?
Guards red. Yeah.
Talk about craftsmanship. Watching him at work.
Oh yeah.
No line.
I was
just
there.
go.
I was there at the build.
Was it
It was
local?
cool. Yep.
You did it locally?
Yep. It was cool.
Give the man a pack of cigarettes and some Coca-Cola and just let him cut your car up. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you guys are kind
Especially
of
with what 964s cost.
Yeah, but we're not like
Oh, yeah.
smoking on people's cars.
You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool story. And where's the car live now?
Lives here at Drivers Club.
Wow.
Yep. So, good place for it to be.
Yeah,
On a battery tender, and take it out for a rip every once in a while. So,
that's great.
good.
Have you known any of the other owners that it went to? One of the three? Have you got in contact
Not really,
with any of
no.
them? Or they seen it? No. Yeah, that's cool. So obviously love for cars, and then leaving or getting done with college. How did you kind of rekindle and say, let's jump into a detailing
I'm pretty
business?
sure it was John.
yeah, I communicated with Benjamin and was telling him I'm really interested in opening a detail shop finally. And I think Benjamin, you were just
Yeah, pretty much if I was interested. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was done with school and wasn't going to go to dental school, so made it happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
And how long ago was that?
2006. I think we
Oh,
committed.
we opened in
committed,
06.
but we committed in 05.
yeah,
Yeah.
05.
I was working at a dive shop and a bartender.
You were working at a dive bar?
No.
No,
Oh,
A dive shop, scuba
dive
shop.
shop as a
Yep, I
bartender.
was a diver.
Okay.
And a
then-
bartender
and
at a different
bartender
shop.
at night. 2 jobs.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right. I was just
2
say
jobs.
dive shop with a bar. That sounds pretty interesting.
Freaking awesome.
Get some scuba gear.
Yeah.
And get a
Sounds
Renier.
good. A
and-
Renier.
Yeah,
we go.
Make it happen.
yeah, go
That's
find
awesome.
some fish. That's awesome. So how was the your parents' reaction when you went and said, "Hey, I'm not going to dental school. I'm jumping back in with my best friend John and going to go start a detailing company"?
It wasn't a jump for joy like when I said I was going to go to college. That was a great reaction, right? I was thinking I'm moving out and that's what I'm going for. And they're like, oh, he's going to college. So that was cool. But the reaction to not be in dental school, I mean, they were just happy that I was going to do something, and I always had a passion for cars. There was, support to open my own business.
That's great. So so once you guys made a jump in, was it, cars?
It was full on.
It was full on from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you guys grow the book of business coming back in?
It actually started with like really shitty cars from a small dealership on Aurora in Seattle, or in
just used car,
like
a used car dealer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minivans, Cheerios.
So were you just polishing, detailing, or were you?
Well, in the beginning, when we first got our first location, I left at 2 to go work at the bar. And then at about 2, John would go pound the streets looking for work for the next day, round up this one dealership. And I think we got like $125 for a full car, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was like
Nice.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like, we can, do 5 of these in a day. We're going to be set for life. Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah,
Yep.
that was a long time.
So you were mobile at the time, or did you have a shop?
No, we had a
Oh,
shop.
no, we had a shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was in Linwood. We only opened brick and mortar.
You opened brick and mortar right away.
Right away.
How big was the first location?
1,800 square feet, was
Yeah.
that?
What were some challenges? Because it was just you two working there. Did you have employees from the start, or
No, just
Just
us.
the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some challenges?
Our
that you guys
second
saw?
employee still works for us.
Oh yeah, we met him over there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
met-
Charlie.
07.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having an employee stay with you for 13 years, obviously, and be part of that growth. If he was here right now, what do you think he would say is the reasons he stayed?
When he first started working for us, John and I said, oh yeah, one day we're just going to work on Ferraris and Porsches. And we made that happen. So I think he knows if we say something, it's probably going to work through.
And he's been taken care of the whole time.
Yeah.
We take care of our employees. They're well paid and they enjoy what they do.
Yeah. And how big's your team now?
11.
Or 12?
I think it's pretty sure it's 11.
Okay, 11.
11.
Yep.
Maybe 13.
Might be 13.
With us.
With us.
With
Yeah.
you guys. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, Baker's
I
dozen.
mean, we're here
Yeah.
every day. Yeah, you can't buy 12 donuts if you're bringing it to
No, you
us.
can't. No, you got to buy all 13. Maybe 14 for myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Always get one for yourself.
You always got to get one for yourself. Yeah. So going from your first shop, what was the transition then into, because is this your third location now? Fourth?
Kind of the
Kind of
fourth.
fourth.
Like we moved and took over suites in our first location. So that was but it was a big jump for us
Yeah.
because we got a lot of square footage.
Yeah.
So, and then we gained a PPF bay. So first we had 1,800 square feet. Then we had
4,000 or so,
Then we
maybe?
had 4,000, and then we gained like 800. That was a single bay just to control PPF.
Wow.
And we got real serious about that.
Wow. And is that where you kind of got the craft of the film and, how to apply it, how to basically make sure that it was as
The
seamless as
craft
possible?
we got before, and then when I honed it, and we needed some environmental control. So we needed a single bay at that time is what we could afford.
Wow.
And it was what was available next door.
Yeah, that's great.
That was actually the main reason, probably.
Were you when you first got into film, what was or even were you doing film before coatings?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we were involved in one of the first coatings that people may know about and may not even know about, but Matrix microcoatings. Back in 06, John was working with them nonstop, like to develop these ceramic coatings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All
It's a long
the
time.
time,
Long
like
time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
major polishes, and then putting the coating on, and would scratch, and you'd have to repolish it. I'm like, oh my god, and it's like, yeah, massive amounts of research on those back in the day.
Wow. So coatings, film, how did you guys separate yourselves within the business? Because having a business partner, was there a point that you guys looked at each other and say, hey, we got to sit down and kind of separate out?
It kind of
the day?
happened. It happened on its
Just
own.
naturally?
Well, so John was much more proficient in paint correction than I was, for sure. And then we both went for training in Massachusetts for where Venture Shield was. And that was in 06. And then when we came back, we just kind of got busy. Like the dealerships asked us for clear bra. So when we got back, we were busy, and John was faster at polishing, so he ended up polishing, and I ended up grabbing the PPF. Yeah.
So, and then, moving forward from kind of building your craft to now having a team, do you guys train all in-house? Do you, so how is it, because I know it's a difficult position for a lot of people to be in, or I don't want to say position, but it's a little mental straining on, hey, I have a new guy coming into the business. Should I hire him? Should I not? He has experience. He doesn't. Can you give a little expertise on your end on what you've seen by building a team like you have?
I think it's important. What I've learned and really taken away from the business is it's important to hire good help and let them do their job. Right? Like not micromanaging.
Yes.
That's really difficult. Right? But if you have a crew that can do what they need to, you don't need to.
And so how does it usually, typically, you hire somebody, do they have prior experience?
No.
Preferably not.
Yep. Typically we start them in the wash bay. They got to learn all of our processes from the very beginning. So even if you're a paint protection film installer or window tinner, you need to know how to wash a car, because there's going to be a time when you need to wash a car and you need to prep it for film or for detail or whatever it is. So typically they spend 2 weeks in the wash bay learning how to do that process perfectly well. So
Everyone.
And
our training process has changed a lot over the years. It used to be, it still is apprenticeship where you work up, but it used to be where when you were the new guy, you did interiors for a while, right? But over the years, we learned that you lost motivation in that staff member, because they felt that they were the ones always at the bottom and they never got to progress, right? Even though it was more of just perfecting that area before you moved along, they didn't really perfect it because they didn't want to do interiors. No one wants to do interiors, vacuuming other people's Cheerios, right? But so now you have a process of training where everybody that works here learns all the way through a wash, decon, and protect, which is basically a clay bar and a sealant, right, in layman's terms. So that's what we get everyone through. That way, if you make it, if you're a detailer or you make film installation department or something like that, you have an opportunity to help no matter what there is. So when you first start, you don't know how to do very much, so you're helpful to the whole shop if you know a baseline.
And we really like to train our own polishing. We have our own methods of polishing cars. It's maybe different from other shops, but we want it done that way.
When you say it's maybe different, you mean it's extremely different.
It's extremely different.
We talked about it. I'm going to try to adapt.
Yeah. So we have our own processes that we think that work best for our business, and we don't want people bringing necessarily their own bad habits in. We're always listening for feedback. We want, we are still learning also, but we have a method that is proven and it works, and so we're not trying to hire someone from other shops here and there, and because we want their skill level. We're just trying to hire for quality of people.
Great. So going and
that's the ticket. That's the
quality
takeaway.
Yeah.
Earlier, you're thinking like, what is the advice? What can you pass on to someone? Just trust your staff.
Yeah.
We'll hire for good people.
Yeah, trust your staff. Hire for good people.
It's funny you say that, because Michael Avens, I asked him that same question, I think it was earlier this week when we were down south in the Portland area. I had another shop and I asked him that same question. I said, what was kind of your interview process when you were building this company? Exactly what he said. He goes, it wasn't about the experience. I go, what questions did you ask? He goes, I was just looking for a good person. Yeah. Right? And I same thing with the detailing business I have too. Just hire for good people and train them after. Yeah. Because longevity-wise too, you're building a business. It's not like you're thinking, I'm going to sell this off in 2 years, or at least maybe not at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why, you want to buy it?
Sure. I buy it, you're staying. You don't get to go on the water just yet.
All right.
Yeah. That's incredible.
But how long do I stay?
I'll let you go on just Mondays and Tuesdays.
Got it. Dude.
All right. Nice. Yeah. You can go on your boats Wednesday through Sunday. I'll allow it. Full pay.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of give us the transition then from your prior position and now how you got, or not your prior position, but your prior shop into the facility you have now, which is, beyond state of the art, super clean. I mean, Michael kind of said the same thing. It's like a German factory where you walk in and everything has its own place. Everyone's working, but in a super relaxed area. You don't walk in where you feel like people are stressed out or trying to rush things through. So kind of how have you gone through your past shop to build the facility you have now?
So we kind of made a partnership with Drivers Club here, and they bought all this land here. It's about 3.5 acres, and the plan was to build Drivers Club and then build our shop at the very same time. So we were able to design our shop, every square inch of it, to make it the most efficient detail shop that we could imagine. And that's after being in business for 12 years. We kind of knew our needs and things like that we needed to make this shop the most efficient, best shop we could make. So
it came about at the racetrack.
At the racetrack?
Yeah. So
were you guys there?
We're friends with the owner of Drivers Club, or Doug Perry, and we're basically sitting like this. We may have been slightly closer and more people with some lawn chairs around here, and might have been some Tim's Cascade jalapeno chips or something, but we were drinking some beers and talking about the shop that we wished we could build, having no idea that in his mind, he wanted to build some crazy country club for all of these people that have amazing cars and nowhere to park them, right? Because you can't park all these cars that you have when you have a condo in Bellevue or Seattle. So we just started talking about how it would work good together, and it worked out that he's a site developer.
Wow. And how long ago was that? I guess that track day.
That might have been like
probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, like 15 or 16. Because it was a couple of years in the making before we actually got to breaking the ground.
Yeah.
There was a few sites they looked at.
What was the conversation you two had after you left that day?
Where?
After you left the track day and talking to Doug, was it like an immediate shake hands? Yeah, we're doing this, or was it?
No, I don't think so.
I think kind of scared shitless. We're about to make our.
We don't really get scared shitless. You don't have time for that.
Good. It's like
yeah. But we didn't know really all the ins and outs and details of what we wanted and what Drivers Club was wanting to do also. So, it took
what we knew
time.
What we knew was that the family we were working with was good people. That's what we knew. So that makes it really easy to jump into something like this.
Yeah. So it's been pretty, level-headed through your business with other businesses that you partnered up with.
Yeah. For sure.
That you share. I mean, even being here today and you guys having access to here, which, has hundreds of $1 millions of cars in it. And you're walking in like it's no big deal. We obviously met Doug. It was, you could just tell right away.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. It's a great relationship. And even everybody that's come in, the people that picked up their cars.
And they have a good sponsorship.
Great sponsorship.
Yes.
2 cases a week, whatever it is. Great. Yep. If I was here, they might need to get a couple extra cases in a week.
Well, while you're here, I saw the truck show up, so you'll be fine.
All right, perfect. So, if you could speak of, because I think, another misconception maybe is that, you need a ton of money to make it, right, in this industry, or that, you just gotta
get to work and make it every day. I think we started with $1,500 and 2 cars. We traded them in for some loaner cars so we could have more time to work on cars. That was a good idea. That was his.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your idea?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Loaner cars.
Nice.
Loaner cars make it easy. So
that's true.
How many loaner cars do you have now?
Right now we have 7, and in a couple of weeks we'll have 8 or 9. So we're buying a couple more.
Nice. Getting rid of the old fleet and got a new fleet.
Full refresh.
Yeah. And what does that provide to, the experience?
It makes it a lot easier for the customers. They know they can go about their day. It makes us so we have the time that we need to work on their car. So if people are dropping off and they're going to wait for service, you kind of feel like a little bit rushed to do the job, and we don't ever want to feel rushed. We want to do the job, do it right, and exceed our customers' expectations in quality. And on pickup, they pull up. It's a stress-free. They get their car. They love the work, and we have a happy customer.
And they were able to pick their kids up on time, do soccer, go to Costco, run their errands, whatever. We have always chosen a vehicle that has some cargo space and stands out.
Not like a Macan.
There's
No.
no cargo space. Yeah.
Need your golf clubs.
Yeah.
Sideways, not
Coolers,
straight on. Yeah,
very
coolers.
important.
Yeah, I get it.
Golf clubs, coolers.
Yeah. So all the other detailers, that look up to you guys, what are maybe a piece of advice or a few pieces of advice that you might be able to provide to them?
When it becomes difficult, stick with it.
And have a process for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be in a routine. Don't show up if you have a shop that's open from 8 to 6. Don't show up at 7:50. If you show up 10 minutes before the doors are open, you're not ready. So I'm
really nice.
always at the shop at least an hour and a half early, every single day, and I'm answering emails and
That changed over the years. In the
Yeah.
beginning,
yeah.
in the beginning.
You made it's changed to now be,
Now I'm much earlier.
wow.
Yeah, and it's good because I get a lot of work done before my employees show up. If you're a one-man operation, maybe it's a little bit different, but I have a lot of tasks to do every morning. And these are tasks that I want to complete before my employees walk in the door. So when they walk in the door, I'm ready for them. I'm ready for my customers. And it doesn't look like I'm in a scramble. I'm ready to talk, discuss, look at their car, figure out their needs, and get them going.
Wow.
So something that we used to do a lot was if we saw a customer outside through the window, you'd open early, but you're not really ready, right? So something that our manager Lee brought in, actually, he's like, just don't worry about them. It's like a restaurant. You're not open till 8 o'clock. So then instead of running around like, oh, we didn't pull out this loan, or oh, we need to do this, oh, that's not finished. Like, just handle the customer when you open at 8. They're just early. They're not expecting you to open. And then when they come in, you can just give fantastic customer service because everything's ready. Everything's ready to go. You didn't open early thinking you're helping them, but it's not organized.
Interesting. Never thought like that.
Yeah.
And our
That's a great point.
employees are scheduled to come in early before we open, and they stay past closing. That's their schedule because they have to clean up at the end of the day, put everything away, garbages, things like that. In the morning, we're getting loaner cars pulled out and getting everything set up and ready. So if you walked into our shop in the middle of the night, you'd be like, wow, this place is spotless. All the carts are put away, all the tools are put away, all the chemicals are put away. We're not leaving stuff on the cars overnight, things like that. Everything's put away.
That's great.
Yeah.
In the same spot because everything is for everyone to use.
And is this knowledge base along the team? Like, is this something that, hey, you see one person doing it, you do it as well? Or do you guys have some type
That's
of...
part of training.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
part of the training. Do you guys have a paper, like a...
Yeah, we have a
that you put
handbook, and then that's part of your first 2 weeks is you're learning everything, right? No, you don't put that. No, we fold our towels. No, you don't do that. Like, I mean, I would fold our towels, putting them into the dirty laundry bin.
Yeah.
But we don't. But I would.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to just hit on real quick too is the film that you guys are obviously making a pretty good impression on in the U.S. market. Aztec, yeah.
USA.
So, you guys have definitely become disruptive in the paint protection world. And can you speak of exactly that relationship that you have with Aztec and why it's so, dialed in and why it's such a great film for this industry?
Sure. Aztec is an amazing company. The headquarters is in Korea. They've been making film for many years. All types of film. It's basically a laminating company, right? So they've just never had their own name brand film. Well, a couple years ago, we were looking for a nice windshield protection film while working with another company's paint protection film. And there hasn't been a good market for windshield protection film because it's so difficult to put on. It's difficult to shrink. So John found Aztec made a windshield protection film. And it was a little bit easier to install. But they also said they had a paint protection film. They were trying to bring to the States and they couldn't. And John got some mailed to us to try, and I just literally leaned it against the corner in my office, right? I was working on a 570S, a McLaren.
Yep.
And the back quarter panel, I could get the current film I was using to stick, but I couldn't get it as smooth as I wanted on the edge. And John's like, you try that Korean film? And I said, no, I did not. But I walked right to the corner of the office. They lucked out. They sent me a 36-inch piece, right? That had, enough length. And I threw it on there and was blown away with the adhesive. So, and then we worked from there. Like, they were willing to listen to my installation, what we were looking for in adhesives. And they made an adhesive that worked for me. And over the years, we designed it, and it's combined with their top coats. You just can't touch it. Like, it's the smoothest, clearest, cleanest film out there.
That's excellent.
Great adhesive, sticks. We're making colors, matte, carbon fiber.
Yeah. The red, yellows, right?
We're touching the vinyl industry like that. You know, everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone gets caught up in clear. Well, you can't even see clear, right? So it may be our favorite color, clear, but you know, we're going into the colors. We're going to touch that vinyl market and get the full car wraps going.
That's exciting.
Yep.
That's the next.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for it. So one thing I want to talk about as well is the Adobe Roads that Michael provided to you guys. It is the Apex wine. Can you speak of it and exactly what the story Michael gave to you guys on why he thought this bottle was perfect for you?
Well, Michael thought this was a perfect bottle for us because it's Apex. It's precision. In our shop, it's all about precision and doing things the right way. So there's a right way to go around a corner, and there's a wrong way. And so
you guys are doing it the right way.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So one last thing, you know, the whole idea behind your story is obviously providing how you guys got here. But one thing we'd love to hear as well is what's next for you. What's kind of your next moving point and your next goals and kind of things to reach for. And I know you guys are going to hit it. So.
Man, I know what I want to say, but I don't know if I'm going to say it. So we're gonna leave what I want to say disclosed. Right? But
we got some plans.
Yeah.
Can you give us a hint?
It'll be good. It'll be big. It'll be noticed, right? So if you're specifically talking about Metropolitan Detail, right?
Or Legacy. Yeah, either or.
Yeah. So I mean, Metropolitan Detail is around, and it's been now using since 2016 S-Tech film. So now there's a name of Metropolitan Detail, and it has a stand behind film. So the next step is,
I get it.
Is the next step.
I think you're hinting at it perfectly. Cool.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you guys obviously giving your time, and thank you for letting us, come
My
into your
pleasure. Thank
facility.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks
fun.
to Driver Club as well, and thanks Doug for allowing us, and Renier for letting us drink it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you reach out to Urable, and thank you Urable and the Avens family for letting us be a part of this. Go online, like, subscribe, go into the Your Story to see some other cool stories, and as always, keep shining. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.